Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a huge fan of Eminem. I've coined him as the GOAT of rap. I've even personally, from a rapping standpoint, drawn some influence from him. And hell, my band's first cover that we ever released was of Eminem's Till I Collapse. But starting with that BET freestyle and then those sort of social justice lyrics that he had going on one of his new tracks, I made the decision not to even buy his more recent album, which in fact was the first album that I didn't purchase. And if some of you remember, when I tweeted that, rapper Talib Kweli and I were going at it for like 3 days on Twitter over this issue. Is ridiculous. And when I said that he's gone full leftist, people were saying that I was over exaggerating. But now he's really spitting out mainstream leftist narratives. In his recent performance at the iHeartRadio Music Awards, he starts a song with a little freestyle. In it, he says, and I quote, "This whole country is going nuts, and the NRA is our way. They're responsible for this whole production. They hold the strings, they control the puppet, and they threaten to take donor bucks, so they know the government won't do nothing, and no one's budging. Gun owners clutching the loaded weapons. They love their guns more than our children." Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. But let me set the scene. I do not think that it's fair that some people want to use Eminem's more raunchier lyrics to sort of criticize him, to point out that he's a hypocrite. Sure, that's easy. He said some derogatory things about women, and he certainly praised gun violence. But let's be for real, it is entertainment. Some of the more crazier things that Eminem has said is more so on a shock value tip. He wouldn't ever act out any of those things, at least I don't think that he would. But I do think it's important to separate the goofy Eminem from the more serious, real talk Eminem. On top of that, even if he did believe some of the more crazier things that he was saying, the dude is in his mid-40s now. He's not obligated to think the same exact way as he was 10 or 20 years ago. Hell, I don't think the same way that I thought 10 years ago. But the problem is that I now believe that he's being dead serious, which doesn't help at all considering that he's dead wrong. He's participating in the same ridiculous, fallacious talking points as the mainstream left when it comes to gun control. That is, blame the NRA. And it's either one or the other. You either support further gun restrictions that impede on people's rights, or you don't care about the kids. It's one or the other, and it's so whack. Now again, we do know that Eminem has said some crazy things. Hell, he's even had some legal issues regarding guns, ironically, but I don't think that's wholly relevant. But I would like to mention some of the more serious lyrics that Eminem has put out. Lyrics from his more serious raps like "The Way I Am." When a dude's getting bullied and shoots up his school and they blame it on Maryland. And the heroin, where were the parents at? Now look where it's at, middle America. Now it's a tragedy. Now it's so sad to see an upper class city having this happen. And attack Eminem cause I rap this way. But now he's ditched that logic, maybe because he's changed, but it's not for the better. He's blaming the NRA for ridiculousness, obviously referencing this recent school shooting or the hype around it, as if the NRA is the one going around telling people to shoot kids. So he'll wipe himself of the blame, but then goes and blames the NRA for not budging on gun restrictions, which they have and which they shouldn't. Or has he changed and will in turn concede that he and Manson are partially to blame when someone shoots up a school? And I don't think that's fair. He also said in Sing for the Moment that say music can alter moods and talk to you. Well, can it load a gun up for you and cock it too? Well, if it can, then the next time you assault a dude, it's tell a judge it was my fault and I'll get sued. See, what these kids do is hear about us talking pistols and they want to get one because they think the shit's cool, not knowing we're really just protecting ourselves, we entertainers. Of course the shit's affecting ourselves, you ignoramus. So not only did he recognize that he's not the one to wholly blame when people get shot up, he also recognizes that guns are for defense. Again, has it changed? Does he no longer believe this? And some would say that he's only saying this to stay relevant. Bro, come on. He's Eminem, the top selling rap artist of all time. He's went platinum and multi-platinum on every album. He went diamond on 2. and his recent one has already sold over 1 million worldwide. Sure, his sales may be down in comparison to his older albums, but whose isn't in the digital streaming age? He's going to remain relevant, so I think it's nonsense when people say that either he lost a step as a rapper or he's just saying this to try to stay relevant. Quite honestly, I hate to believe that. I think he's really serious now. Eminem is rich and has made more money than I will ever see, and I ain't knocking him for that. I'm sure that he's not gonna lose any sort of sleep because little old me is not going to buy his recent record. I'm sure he doesn't really give a damn about what I have to say about him, but it doesn't change the fact that he's wrong. Yo, I appreciate everybody for, of course, watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please consider becoming a patron over at my Patreon. That's patreon.com/Eric D. July. I am monetized by all of my supporters, so become a patron if you did enjoy it and you want to see more videos.